And welcome back to Lycan Studios. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. So, yeah, it's been a long time since we've done like a face-to-face video. I know I live stream, but a lot of people don't really watch those. So this is probably the first time you guys are seeing me in a while. My hair has grown a lot, but nonetheless, I'm back. Hopefully you guys caught yesterday's video. Thank you so much to everybody who watched it and, you know, left their support and stuff. It means so much. It's so awesome coming back and just having people that really have been waiting for me to come back. It's absolutely awesome. But nonetheless, we're going to try to continue the roll that we're on with the one upload. We're going to make it two. So nonetheless, thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. But yeah, before we get started real quick, I just want to know, what do you guys want to see with Game of Thrones? Because that's the hard part, is just trying to figure out what kind of videos to make. They're all rewatched and stuff, and I just don't want to be, I don't want to be stale, and I don't want to make videos that you guys just absolutely hate, that are like cringeworthy, you know what I mean? So do you guys want me to focus more in like a certain spot, or just kind of do what I'm doing and cover a little bit of everything? That's probably what you guys will say, but I just figure some input would be pretty cool. I still want to go back and cover the plot leaks that I said I was going to do, like do the breakdown on them and stuff. I just didn't want to do it like as the first thing when I came back, just because that content kind of gets stale after a while. But I don't know. Let me know what you want to think about that, or let me know what you do think about that. And yeah, be prepared to put on your tinfoil hat, because I'm about to read this article that kind of got me thinking about some stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the title of the video. Yeah, The Death of the Night King by Jaime Lannister. Let's check it out. All right, so we're going to start off reading this article just to kind of show you guys where I got this idea from. And apparently it's on a few different places. A bunch of people have been talking about it. So it says, as the clocks tick down, this is on inverse.com, by the way. I'll throw the link in the description below. But it says, as the clocks tick down to the Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere date, I think there's typos, by the way, too. We know it's sometime in April 2019, but when? Speculation over which characters will prevail in the coming battle against the Night King and his undead army keeps ramping up. Now, a theory with some strong evidence behind it suggests that one character could be destined to stop the Night King, Jaime Lannister. It might be a bit of a stretch, but we wouldn't rule it out entirely. At the very least, it's something fun to think about while you wait for Game of Thrones Season 8 to actually release. I agree. So, just so you know, there are some spoilers in this. There's a popular theory based on a prophecy in Game of Thrones that Jaime will kill Cersei in the final season. You guys know that I really want it to be Arya, whether as his final big move or on the path to something else. After the Season 7 finale, when Cersei refused to help Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen fight the Night King, fans have wondered whether Jaime would stab his sister in the back in an attempt to do the right thing. However, this new theory suggests that Jaime's role in Game of Thrones Season 8 could even be more important than killing Cersei. He could be destined to take on the Night King himself. It gets pretty interesting. There's also a theory that Arya will use Jaime's face to kill Cersei, one of my favorite ones. If that does happen, Arya may or may not reveal the truth before the Lannister woman dies. If that does happen, what does that mean for the real Jaime? Could he be elsewhere when it happens, or could Arya choose to use his face because he dies and Cersei doesn't know it yet? So that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I never really thought about how they would set this up. I mean, I did a little bit, but it says it here in just a few minutes, like what really got me thinking about really cool stuff. It says, either could be true if Jaime's role in the final season puts him in the center of the action during the big battle against the Night King and the Army of the Dead, which you figure it will. You figure he's going to grab Bronn and then probably work his way towards Winterfell. That's kind of my thoughts, right? It's got a quote that says, Jaime will kill the Night King using the Scorpion and Valyrian steel arrow, which will be reforged from his sword by Gendry. Now, we do see all these ballistas and stuff being set up, the Scorpions, throughout King's Landing, so it makes you wonder if there's going to be any in Winterfell or not. I don't remember seeing any pictures with them, but you never know. A lot of people think that the Night King will make it all the way to King's Landing. It says they add that Jaime could earn the name the Kingslayer once again, but this time he will not kill the Fire King, but the Ice King. Jaime became known by that name when he served in the Kingsguard of Aerys II Targaryen, aka the Mad King. Taking out the Night King would be a nice bookend to Jaime's story, while also referencing the title of the series of books the HP show is based on, A Song of Ice and Fire. More specifically, the Scorpion, that giant crossbow designed to fight dragons, could be key to the plot, a previous scene that could have been foreshadowed for this outcome. On the Fields of Fire, he told Bronn to shoot Drogon with the Scorpion because he can't shoot with one hand. He will have to do it this time. In Season 7, Jaime and Bronn used the Scorpion, and Bronn put an arrow into Drogon. Could the Scorpion come into play again, this time perhaps in a situation where Jaime has to use it against the Night King? So we basically know that they're setting up these scorpions on the walls of King's Landing. So the biggest thing is, will it be for Viserion or undead Viserion, or will it be for, you know, Dany's dragons? It says the same Redditor goes on to suggest if he doesn't kill the Night King, he will at least make the king land to King's Landing by killing his dragon. So they are acknowledging that it will probably be in King's Landing. So I'm still kind of twisted with that. I don't really know if I think that the Night King will make it to King's Landing, but I think him and Cersei definitely need to, you know, see each other. I want them to see eye to eye. I want Cersei to look upon the Night King and be afraid. My guess is Jaime will lead the armies of men against the army of the dead, this Redditor adds in the thread's comments. Maybe he sacrifices himself to kill the Night King, and then Arya takes his face to take down Cersei. That's very interesting. So maybe Jaime's goal is to actually shoot down Viserion, and then, you know, Jon possibly takes out the Night King. Because I kind of feel like Jon needs the kill on the Night King. I don't really think Jaime could do it, but if he plays the big part in bringing down Viserion, that would be awesome. It says this could take into account the theory that Jaime uses the Scorpion as well. Maybe he knows he won't survive if he uses it against the Night King and does it anyways, kind of like a self-sacrifice. Maybe he does or doesn't kill the Night King, or at least his Ice Dragon, kind of like what I was talking about. Either way, there is one problem with the theory that Arya uses his face to kill Cersei. Game of Thrones would likely want fans to think it's the real Jaime until the big reveal. That's what got me thinking, hardcore. It says, however, Jaime is also a major character and deserves a good death scene. So in order for both of these events to happen, they'd have to be shown out of order, or fans would have to think that Jaime survived the battle, only to later be shown he didn't. So how in the world could they do that? Because I completely understand. I think we're going to want to see Cersei dying after Jaime strangles her or something like that, just for Arya to remove her face and show Cersei on her deathbed that it was her that finally killed her. So how could they do that to where it would be so suspenseful for the average watcher? Because a lot of us, you know, we want it to happen. We always will think that it could happen, but your average watcher probably isn't really thinking about that. And obviously, that's kind of what this is geared towards. So how could they set it up to where we think Jaime's alive only to find that he's dead and Arya used his face? That's very interesting. They could use it as in, like, he's up on the wall, shoots down the dragon, but the dragon ends up taking out Jaime too, and you just don't know whether he's alive or dead. But I don't really know. This could get very, very interesting. It says perhaps Jaime tries but fails to kill the Night King, like we were talking about. That could result in his death, or at least his presumed death. If he does attempt this and survives, you'd assume he would be alive when the series ends. Any death after that would feel lacking, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I don't really know. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty interesting. I don't think that he will get the kill on the Night King, but what if he brings down Viserion and dies during the process, and we just don't know it yet, and then Arya ends up using, you know, his face? Oh man, that could be so interesting. It could be so interesting. So I was actually rewatching this all the way through, and it hit me. So what if they set it up to where Cersei is like watching down on Jaime somehow, who is on a ballista, or just watching Jaime on the ballista shooting at Viserion. He ends up taking down Viserion. Viserion's like flying, spiraling towards the ground. The Night King ends up living so Jon can get that kill, but something happens to Jaime. Like maybe Viserion hit it with a last minute blue fire, or the blue flames just kind of takes out the wall that he's on with the ballista, mounted up on the ballista. So Cersei sees it and thinks Jaime's dead. Meanwhile, Arya ends up coming in pretending to be Jaime, and Cersei's like, "Oh my God, you made it! Like I can't believe you lived." And then Arya kills her, strangles her. That would be absolutely crazy. So then it can pan back and show that, hey, you know, Jaime actually didn't make it. He died, and it was Arya who killed Cersei. Cersei would think that it would be absolutely crazy that he actually lived, and that would be the reason that he's coming to see her. Kind of like they destroy, like maybe they kind of like destroy the Night King, and then right after that they turn around and go kill Cersei that way. How crazy would that be? That would blow my mind. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much why I wanted to make this video, just because I love creating dialogue and stuff like that. I think I'm going to do that since we don't really have a lot of news coming out. Like anytime I see like a new theory kind of come out, maybe we'll just do videos on that, like all the new theories and stuff. That way we can discuss it, maybe take it a little bit further, or kind of say it's trash. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Kind of like a theory review type video. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Lycan Studios. Make sure to check out my last video if you want to find out what I think, or which characters I think are going to live and die. I actually split it right down the middle. I think 11 ended up living, 11 died. So it was pretty solid, I think. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Lycan Studios. Peace.